Hey guys, today we're taking a look at one of the smallest, if not the smallest, DAC ever. Here it is, just so you get an idea. It's really small. But don't let its size fool you, this little guy supports some of the highest audio standards out there, while still being pretty cheap at $86 as of the time of filming this video. This item was sent to me by Banggood, so thanks to them for this collaboration. And without waiting any further, let's check it out. But wait, some of you might have noticed that I just passed 5k subscribers on the channel, and I want to thank all of you that are subscribed and watch my videos. I've been working real hard for the past 2 years and I'm really glad I'm already at that stage. And if you're not subscribed yet, now's a good time to join. Anyway, let's go to the review. Not only this DAC is tiny, but it also comes in a really small box. The unit is well protected in a foam shell, and you also get 3 USB cables. All of them have a micro USB ending to connect to the DAC, but on the other end, you get either a full-size USB, micro USB, or Type-C USB port. These cables are quite short though, so don't expect these to reach the back of your desktop PC, and considering the size of the DAC, we can guess that it's meant to be used in a portable setup. It's so tiny, I've never seen such a small DAC. It's only 60mm in length, 6mm thick, and 16mm in width. But it's quite a great looking device. The shell seems to be made out of aluminum, definitely not plastic. I have it in black, but it's also available in red and dark gray, and the whole thing feels solid. I think it should be able to last if you're carrying it in your bag on a daily basis. At the back you get a single micro USB port. It would have been nice to see a Type-C port, but this one seems really solid. In fact, it's quite hard to get the cable out of it once it's in. On top you get volume buttons and an LED light. They don't have an audible click, but they're tactile, so you know when you've successfully pressed them down. As for the LED light, from the usage I've had with the DAC, it seems to be blue when the device is working and red when there's a problem. And finally at the front there's a 3.5mm input to connect headphones, so it's really simple, no extra buttons or features, just a bare-bone DAC and preamp. Inside the shell you'll find a single PCB. One side shows the Sabre DAC chip and the XMOS USB audio chip. The latter can handle iRes audio up to PCM 32-bit 768 kHz and DSD 512. Which are pretty much the highest quality standards out there, and that's really interesting considering the price, as other options that support the same encoding formats usually cost more. The other side shows the power supply, the volume buttons, and other controllers. So I tested the DAC for a whole week at work on my Windows 10 PC. I also tested it briefly on my Mac and it worked great, but as for phones, it's a whole other story, but I'll get into that later. To do so, I simply connected it to one of my PC's USB port and its drivers installed automatically. Then it was ready to be used. When you plug it in, it's set by default at a specific volume. You can then adjust it with the volume buttons. The thing is, if you unplug it and plug it again, the volume will reset to defaults. Also, adjusting the volume on the device doesn't change it on Windows. It's really meant for the DAC itself, as Windows sets it to 100 by default. In terms of sound, I'd say it sounds great. I haven't heard a huge difference compared to my motherboard's sound card, but these have pretty good onboard sound nowadays. My back-to-back comparison was with my MacBook, and I was able to hear a difference here. I used my good old Bayer Dynamics Custom Studios here for the tests. Mostly on rock tracks, the drums were a lot tighter. The highs and the lows seem more precise too. Overall, when going back to the MacBook's onboard sound card, the audio seemed a bit more muffled. And in terms of power, it was able to drive my 80 ohms headphones up to a point where I couldn't keep them on my head, so it should do great even with high impedance headphones. In fact, I don't see an aspect of the sound where the MacBook's built-in sound card sounded better, but keep in mind that it's from early 2013 and there have been new developments in audio chips since that time too, and MacBooks aren't regarded as having perfect built-in audio chips either. Now the products page barely mentions that the DAC could be used with phones, but from the cables that came included with it, I'd guess that it was suited as a portable DAC for phones. In fact, a lot of phones nowadays don't have a headphone jack, so I saw this DAC as a great solution for headphone users. That thing is small, so it's great for on the go, but still not too small that you'd lose it. However, it had no lightning cables included, so I guess we can forget using it with iPhones, which leaves us to Android devices. Fortunately, I borrowed a Pixel 2 and a OnePlus 6 from two of my buddies at work. Both of these phones have a USB Type-C connector, so I was able to use the included micro USB to Type-C cable. But here's the thing, I first tried to connect the DAC to the OnePlus 6, but it wouldn't even power it. No LED light nor any sound would come out of it. The built-in speakers started playing whenever I played media. So I switched to the Pixel 2, and this time it actually connected. I was able to play music through it and it did sound great. I was able to adjust the volume using the DAC's buttons, however it didn't change the volume on the phone. So using your phone's volume buttons wouldn't work. However, whenever I moved the Type-C connector just a bit, it would disconnect. If I fiddled with it a bit, it would reconnect it, but the DAC seemed in a bad state. Its LED light was red and it produced a loud buzzing sound. Not pleasing at all. I was able to get it to work by unplugging it and replugging it again, but it was a hit or miss sometimes. I can't really see this solution as being great on the go. With your phone in your pocket, I think this situation will happen way too often to be viable. Maybe using a different cable would have helped, but I think the included cable should be good enough already. So overall, I'd say the mobile experience was not good at all. And that was a bit disappointing, as I think that was a use case where this DAC would have been a perfect fit considering its size. And knowing that it behaved like that with two quite popular devices like the Pixel 2 and the OnePlus 6, I don't think it would do much better with less popular options. So in conclusion, do I recommend it? Well, if you want to use it with your phone, I would stay away from it until they fix the issues I mentioned earlier. I don't think it's a finished product for phone users and it has too many cons. From my tests, it's not supported by all Android devices and it's too prone to become in a bad state if you move it around too much. On the other hand, I think that using it with a laptop is one of the best use case scenarios. It's really compact, the cables that come with it are just the right length, and it doesn't require external power. Using it with my MacBook was where I saw most of the benefits. It was super stable and it made my headphones shine without adding much bulk to my on-the-go setup. For 86 bucks, you get a DAC and preamp that sounds clean and that supports most of the high-resolution audio standards out there. And it's really suitable for desktop users too, but the cables are a bit short and it will mostly be upside down on your desk if you want to have the 3.5mm port facing you, thus resulting in inverted volume buttons. In that case, you have the luxury to go a little bigger, I think, and there are other options that are better suited for that use case for around the same price. So overall, not a bad product at all, but it's good in really specific scenarios, so it's really up to you to see if it matches your needs. And I'll have affiliate links down in the description, so feel free to check it out if you're interested and want to support the channel at the same time. Oh, and Banggood has quite an impressive mid-year sale going on right now. The best deal will start on July 27th, I think. So if you wanted to order something from them already, now may be the right time to do so. So hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you like the video if you did, and if you didn't, just let me know what I should change down below. Otherwise, don't forget to subscribe if you still haven't already, as I'll see you in the next video.